Content creation is a lot. You need to be a creative director, an actor, an editor, a businessman that studies all of these different analytics, and on top of all of these, you need
expensive gear.
That's the problem. That's why everybody stops. They get the courage to ideate, they get the courage to really try with what they have, and they fail right here. Because they think gear is the problem. So they don't post the second video. They give up just because they don't see how they could even compete with someone that has all of that gear and expensive cameras. But it's not. Like, gear really isn't the problem. Because believe it or not, all of these clips you're seeing right now, they were made with this little thing right here, my phone. This one tool is one of the best things that ever happened to us. And in the next few minutes, I'm gonna change your mind about cameras and lenses and tripods, because this is the biggest lie about content creation. First of all, there is a clear difference between this, the professional camera, and then this, the phone you use every single day. But most people tend to get it wrong. What do I mean by that? Well, there's a few core things that make us see this as high quality and then a phone as, everyday quality. But that's not entirely because of what's inside of these. It's more about how they're used. Like, for example, a lot of a good scene is good lighting, color grading, angles, and ideas. And sure, a better lens can get you better depth of field, which just means better blur, aka cinematic footage, but you can achieve a lot of this with just your phone. Like, for example, depth of field can be edited. Angles, lighting, and composition don't rely on gear, so it's all a matter of trade-off. Like, you're trading your time using just your phone to get a great result, or you're trading your money to get a great result with a camera. And when you don't have a ton of money to spend, you have another resource, which is time. And like, you can definitely get an amazing level of quality with just your phone. I made this video when I started out, and the crazy thing is, everything here is added in the editing. And it looks like I shot it on a professional camera. So the real things you should focus on are lighting, composition, like angles, and sequences, which is just a combination of different shots tied together. And finally, a bit of editing. And don't feel freaking scared of editing. I know that a lot of people, when they hear editing, they run away from it. But it's not the hard type of editing. It's the one where you're just following a tutorial online. So basically for lighting, you want good shadows like what I have right now, and a practical light, like this thing right here. Good shadows are soft and bad shadows are harsh. So if I were to use this light here, these and these are harsh shadows. But the light from the sun, for example, is sometimes soft, and it allows us to get these nice soft shadows instead. Now, a practical light is important because in movies and in high quality content, this lamp creates an imaginary point of origin for all of the light in the scene. And it also adds a splash of color, which means that now we tell the viewer, hey, this is where the light is coming from, instead of having it off screen. Now, other than lighting, you need cool shots. So that means getting creative with how you showcase an idea, or making sure you always have a scene like what I have right here. Basically, you want to add style. And this is very important because if you have a good composition, aka a scene and good lighting, then you're already doing the heavy lifting. Okay, so how do you use your phone, the greatest tool in your toolkit, to your advantage? Well, first of all, you need to shoot with the back cameras. The back cameras are designed to be better. So even if you're shooting like a talking head like this, shoot with the back camera. Second, make sure you're using whatever cinematic version your phone has for recording everything. It'll add some post-processing and extra blur and will make things crisper, which is getting you closer to professional camera footage. Now, what I'm gonna say next might seem a bit unrelated, but it's actually really, really important. That is audio. You need really good audio to compensate for lesser video. It just makes sense. If one of your senses start to fail, you automatically compensate with the other one. And the cool thing about audio is that we evolved around audio and our ears, not our vision. We're actually picking up way more information with our ears rather than with our eyes. And if you have good sound design, music, pacing, and audio quality, your videos will be 10 times better than if you had just amazing video quality and bad audio. And the cool thing is fixing audio is super cheap. You just get a $10 lavalier, make sure it never peaks, and then you put the audio through Adobe Podcast, and then you have super high quality audio with just a bit of extra work. And this is like a common thing with content creation. You don't have to spend a lot of money on gear. You have a ton of ways to actually do that if you add some time to the equation. Also, your phone is compact, which actually allows you to create a bunch of cool shots. You can do a handheld shot or tie it to your head for a POV shot or use the wide angle. And that's because it's so compact. If it was a normal camera, it would be super difficult to get these shots. So it kind of opens up a bunch of doors for you. And this is the coolest part of content creation. You can do everything with what you have. A lot of people create amazing videos with what they have lying around. You need a top-down shot, you can just put your phone in the mouth or like tape it to the ceiling. You really have endless possibilities, and pretty much 100% of the time, if you learn to use your phone right, you're gonna get better content than someone who just has an expensive camera. And it's often not a gear problem. It's actually a time problem. Are you willing to put in the hours to become better at this and learn how to use your phone to the max? And are you willing to put the time in to enhance your footage afterwards? If the answer is yes, then you don't need a better camera at all. You just need to do it. A really cool app that I've been using to have more control on my phone is the Blackmagic camera app. I coach hundreds of creators for an agency I work with, and this is one of the biggest game changers because the selling point of a professional camera is that you have full control over what you see. You can control the settings, you can change the lens, you can pretty much just do everything you want. So then, if you want to make better content, you kind of have to backwards engineer what makes the camera so great. And one of those things is using manual settings. So if you just use the normal camera app on your phone, you're not going to be able to get amazing footage and you're not going to have freedom. But with this app, you can. And it's not paid or anything. It doesn't have ads. It doesn't even have a subscription. It's just a free camera app that unlocks the settings of your phone. You do have to spend time to master all of these settings, and I'm gonna make a video pretty soon, so subscribe for that. But learning this is super important to making cinematic videos with just your phone. Another super cool benefit of shooting with your phone is that you can instantly airdrop the footage or like grab your phone quickly, shoot something, and then boom, in less than a minute, you have that clip you needed. Rather than, getting out your camera, setting it up on a tripod, getting the SD card out, and you get the point. If you're willing to be creative with what you have and you're willing to learn and spend your time on this, then it really doesn't matter what camera you have. You will always have great quality content. So now color grading is also a very important aspect of this. And if you search online, then you're gonna see a bunch of videos on color grading. A lot of these videos might feel a bit complicated because color grading is actually an entire creative field. You color grade photos, you color grade videos, and color grading can turn an image that generally looks good into something that looks freaking amazing. And it's fast, it's really easy to do, it doesn't take any processing power, you can even do it on your phone. And the cool thing about color grading is that it can fix what mistakes you may have done in the recording. For example, if I maybe overexpose something, or I wanted the subject to be lighter or the background darker, then I can do that with color grading really easily. It doesn't really take longer than 10 minutes. I can use a mask, or I can add a mask to the background and make it blurry in the edit. And that's the beauty of using what you got. And that's also the beauty of the time we're living in. Technology has advanced to the point where we can actually fix every single one of our mistakes in the edit. So if you really think about it, the selling points of having a professional camera or an expensive lens or just a really expensive microphone, all of those can be fixed just by spending a little bit more time on it. For example, you can just use Adobe Podcast and add a bit of time every single shoot to make your audio better. And you can color grade everything, add masks, and generally spend a bit more time in the post so that you can get a better quality output. Your phone is way more useful than you think it is, and you don't need expensive gear to make this possible. And that's what most people just get wrong. If you like this video, then subscribe, because I'm doing a lot of these videos where I teach content creators how to make better content. And I'm gonna try my best to post twice a week on YouTube. And if you wanna see a specific video, just leave a comment. I'll make a video on your problem. I also post daily on Instagram. So if you wanna see more of that, just follow me at Rob on Film. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.